This is part 3 of the videos on this Briggs & Stratton Model Y engine. The other ones you saw how bad this was corroded, the piston was stuck. We got everything taken apart. I honed up the cylinder. There's no pitting or anything in here. It turned out real good. Got the valves out of it. Reground both valves. Then I lapped them in with lapping compound. And you can see a little ridge around there where the lapping compound seated the valve right in the center of the face. That's good. The same way with this one, this exhaust valve. The lapping compound, you can see, left a mark right around the center there, and that's good. The piston cleaned up real nice. No scuffing or anything. That should be perfectly usable. On the connecting rod on these little Y engines, there's a mark here, or a little casting mark, and one there. You want to have those lined up when you take when you put it back together. The rod cap is matched to the rod, and these two marks should be aligned. This crankshaft cleaned up real good. A little bit of pitting here, but it should be fine. But on the end of this crankshaft, this stud was broken off inside of this end of this crankshaft. And it's left-handed thread. Anybody has one of these apart, this is a left-hand thread. But I tried heating it up and tapping it out with a chisel. It would not budge. I had penetrating oil, heat from an acetylene torch, had this red hot. It just would not come out of there. I was getting about ready to drill it out, and then I remembered an old trick that I saw someplace. An old fella had this problem, and he heated this up, and he applied regular old candle wax around here. Kind of let that candle wax bubble and boil in there. When it cooled off, then I was able to get this broke loose. I was amazed. I didn't think that would work. But no penetrating oil would work. The only thing that would get this freed up was heating this up and then applying this wax. And I kept working it back and forth till I get a pair of pliers on it and turned it out of there. But there was that much of the stud threaded in there. You can see where it's broken off there. I imagine what happened, somebody didn't realize that it was a left-hand thread, and they just actually twisted it off. So that worked out. I got the shroud straightened up, got the dents taken out of it, and I was surprised when I cleaned this up. This engine was painted kind of a dark green color. Well, when I cleaned up the identification tag, it's got the model number, Model Y and everything, serial number. But I got to reading down here, and this was tagged Sears Roebuck and Company. So I thought that was a little bit unusual, but evidently Briggs sold these to Sears and Roebuck. Whether it came on one of their washing machines, I don't know. But you can see the block was also this green color. But they had all sorts of instructions on here, how to order parts, use the part number, or model number, and the serial number, and all that. A couple other interesting things, I'll have to get a little closer to read, but on the bottom here it says the world's largest store, Sears Roebuck and Company. then it tells you the kind of oil to use. It says use cross country or Corona oil, SAE 20, summer and winter. So evidently they probably, Sears and Roebuck sold that brand of oil too. So they're always advertising and wanting to sell you something. But I've never run across that before. I'm sure it's common, but I've never seen it before on any of these engine tags. I thought that was kind of interesting. Now we're going to start some reassembly. We'll see how far that goes.